Hello, welcome back to the channel. If you are a supply chain professional and you would like to know how Claude Cowork can help you building analytics tools, I'm talking here about applications that you can share with colleagues without writing a single line of code, this video has been made for you. So my name is Samir, I'm supply chain data scientist, and I've been using Claude for nearly 2 years. Of course, I'm building apps with that, but as everybody knows, Claude can also perform some ad hoc analysis. So you upload in the prompt some data and Claude provides some analysis. But if you want to share that with other colleagues, then it becomes a bit more complicated. Now, with Claude Cowork, you can build an app like this one that you can share with other colleagues using a simple USB stick. So I will quickly show you how the app is working, and then we are going to deep dive in the prompt to understand how I instructed Claude to build this solution. So first, maybe let me show you a demo. So let's imagine, so here you are in the working folder. What do you have in the working folder? You have the file transactions. So this is the input files. These are basically sales transactions, and you would like to analyze them by performing some ABC and Pareto analysis. So what do you have? You have the SKU and the item IDs, the family and the category, the store associated to the SKU, and then days and quantities and turnover. So these are data that you can use to perform ABC analysis. I have shared in this channel multiple tutorials to show you how you can do that with Python, how you can deploy that easily on the web. But for that, you need Python skills. Here, I would like to share this solution that can be used by anyone that cannot code. So you want to perform an analysis. So here you go on the web application, you go on transactions, you upload, you wait a bit. And then boom, this analysis is generated. So you have a kind of cards to show you the general KPIs, then the ABC split. And here you have a nice Pareto chart with the cumulative percentage and the percentage of turnover, the turnover contribution by class, some detailed analysis about the sales distribution, and the turnover by family and class, and some detailed analysis SKU by SKU. So this application can be shared easily. It's just here, as you can see, an HTML file with some Python scripts. The idea here is that you have a server and a front-end side. So the server side, it's basically the backend. These are these 3 Python scripts that will take the raw data of the transactions, process it in a specific format, and then share that to the front end, so the web page, the HTML page, to render it with nice visuals using JavaScript. So it's quite easy. And how can you share that? Very easily. You copy and paste the folder and you share that to your colleagues and they can use that in their computers. So maybe let me go more in the details. Here, so this is the folder that I'm opening with VS Code, like a tool that is used by developers. And if you go here in the README, I even prepared, I asked Claude to prepare a kind of README document. So this is what you have, for instance, in the projects of applications that explains how the app is working. So explaining all the different files that you have on hand, the technologies used. This is something that you can use to explain to the users how to use the tool and how to use it. So here you double click and all the workflow to go from raw transactional files to these visuals. So now that you understand what can be done, here is the prompt that I've been using to generate this web application that could be shared quite easily. So this is not a best-in-class prompt. I just wanted to test if Claude Cowork was able to build this kind of applications. So I just shared that I have a transactional file in Excel format, and I want to build an ABC and analysis and Pareto chart. So here there were some issues. Claude Cowork was not able to locate the file. Then after some rechecked, it was able to find it. So the good thing is, the first thing that he did is check the content of the file. So he performed already, probably by generating the Python scripts that are used in the backend, a kind of ABC analysis with the different classes, a kind of a Pareto chart, and you could see the Pareto chart here already and a kind of and the results of the ABC analysis. So for that, you are probably familiar with Claude, and Claude is doing that quite easily. But what I wanted to do is to be able to export this workflow in an app that can be used by anyone in its own computer. So for that, I provided a bit more details. I wanted to have it in a web page format. Why? Because I wanted something light that could be used by anyone, and anyone can open a web page. And I said that it should be used by anyone that without coding experience, and I gave very brief requirements for the application. Of course, here you can provide more details from an operational and functional point of view to improve the solution and to make it closer to what you want. Of course, here it was just a kind of a proof of concept. So we started to build the full interactive dashboard that he calls, and you can share that internally with your colleagues as a full interactive dashboard, like a web application. And he gave the different details, so like the KPI cards, the ABC summary, and I was able here to see the dashboard, which is exactly the same as this one. So now what I wanted to do is, okay, because when you do that, usually what Claude is doing is Claude will process the data in the backend, store it in its own workspace, and then fill the results in with hard-coded values in the app, which means that your app is not interactive at all, but is doing the easiest thing to do. What you want is to be able to build a kind of a workflow, and this is exactly what I ask here. I ask for workflow where users can refresh the data. Later, I ask for the clean data, and this is exactly what he did. I think I first started the discussion inside a specific folder, and this is what is done here, and he generated all the files. Now everything is done. I even asked, I think, for later for a README, like I asked for Markdown document or READMEs, which is a kind of a common practice if you don't have coding experience. This is what usually we do when we build apps, to explain to users how to use it or to explain to potential developers how to deploy it. So, and then I asked for the reset button. At the beginning, it was not there. Then he worked again to have it. And yeah, and then you have the final results. There's nothing more here. I just asked for the README to include the architecture and the technical solutions, as I showed you before. Here, what kind of libraries are used. And if you, for instance, you want to deploy that on the web, it would be easy to give that to a developer, because now he has all the documentation. So here is the kind of a proof of concept. I wanted to keep the video short. If you have any question, feel free to use the comment section, and don't hesitate to share with me the type of apps that you have built, probably a bit more complex and more detailed than this proof of concept. And see you for the next tutorial.